Okay, now we're going to look at a view from a trainer perspective, and we're going to go into the dashboard so that we can follow up on the people who have been training. So this is the view that you'll see as a trainer. Right up here you've got your training, whatever you're set up for, but then you have this dashboard right here that has the date, a circle, and then a yellow circle as well. What this is signifying is that the last time something was completed in your restaurant was May 29th. There are some things that are overdue and been started, and that you have some courses that need to be graded manually. So we're going to go ahead and click on our dashboard. When you click on the dashboard, the default view is going to be everything that's been done in the last 21 days in regards to training. So everyone who's been involved in training for the last 21 days that's completed something in the last 21 days is going to show up. And it's also going to populate it with anybody who has things that are overdue. So overdue stays there forever until it's done. And so let's go ahead and look at this specifically because there's a lot going on this particular page. You have each one of the people that's in training or that have things overdue, as I just said. But you also have on the left-hand side of the names the percentage complete that they are with everything that's been assigned to them in their present training role. So if it's overdue, it's in red. If it's current, it's in green. On the right-hand side, you'll have some dates. That is the last date that anything was completed by that particular individual. Then you also have a numeric score next to their names, or some of them, and that is their average test score of all of their tests. And then some of them have a yellow star, and what that means is that something inside their course work needs to be graded. It has open-ended questions in it that they've answered that need to be scored by either someone in that's a trainer or a manager, but just someone above them in access level. So let's go ahead and just click on this person, one team. So when you click on one team, what's going to happen is that is a person, and that we will get to look more closely at everything that they've got. So what this does is then it breaks out everything that they've been assigned to either tests or the course group. So if you want to look and dig down deeper on their test, you can click on tests, and that's going to expand everything that's a graded test. And you can see that specifically what they did. If you actually want to see what questions they actually missed, you can click on that particular test itself. Now you notice that there's a yellow star next to the orientation quiz that says open-ended. So let's go ahead and click on there. That means that it needs to be graded. So we're going to click on orientation quiz, and the system's going to pull up what they did, what they answered for the orientation quiz. So if you notice right here, it says, in your own words, what is our company's purpose and mission? And you notice that there's their answer, and then you can actually give it a numeric score. So when you put the score this answer, you can go down and give them an 80 because you feel like that they got most of the question right, but not quite all of it. So you've decided to give them an 80. Then you press score, and you'll notice that it will actually put there that who it was scored by and what the score was. If you wanted to add some comment about why you only scored it an 80 or you scored it more, you can click right there and say we needed a little more detail, please. And then you press the green check, and you just added a comment. And now anybody can see that can log in. The individual that this is can see that, and then also anybody else who logs in that has the access level equivalent to yours or above. And you can just go down through and you can score each one of those. They got that one completely right. We'll give it 100. We'll go down and say, steal, do drugs, or no call, no show. Yep, those are 3 ways that you can lose your job. We'll give that 100. Looks like they know our phone privilege policy as well. We're going to give that 100. And if you no call, no show, you're going to also lose your job. And we're going to give that 100, and we'll score that. And we have just scored all of the questions. And you'll notice right up here that they have a score of 96. So that's pretty good. Passing was 85, so it's in green, and you're done. So we're going to go back up to the dashboard. We're going to go back into one team, and I'm going to show you one more thing before we kind of move on. And we're going to show you how to follow up at the end of a shift in regards to the daily validation and signing off. So I was training you during the shift. At the end of the shift, we say, you did great. We're going to go in as a trainer, and the trainees actually you're going to ask them to open up their you're going to ask them to open up this particular course, the sign off and validation. When they open it up, what you're going to see is this. And on day 1, a trainer went in and gave this feedback. And then that particular trainer signed off that they were knowledgeable of everything that was on that particular shift that day. The trainee signed it, and then the trainer signed off that everything was complete, the tasks, and that they're ready to move on to the next shift. What's key about this is that you have accountability and transparency as to who did they train that day, who did they train with, and that person says that they were able to move on to the next shift. If you notice on day 2 that that's saying that they did a good job, they were involved with their table and really opened up, that they had a great sense of urgency, and that they were ahead of me most of the shift. And as you noticed from the previous feedback, that obviously that the trainee understood the feedback from the first shift and that they actually did a really good job. And then everybody signed off right there. So moving on to the 3rd shift, which they haven't started yet, but whoever they're going to be following on the 3rd shift can see all of the feedback that's been given on the previous shifts. So that's how you utilize the dashboard. It's how you utilize giving feedback, and that is how we work.